Hi everyone, my name is Akshaya. I'm a nature and animal communicator, which means I can speak to plants, animals, and other species and have two-way conversations with them. If you're someone who has just started out on your animal communication journey, I'm sure you have had a lot of experiences, a lot of people telling you what you should do and how you should make your communication journey easier. Oftentimes, we hear a lot of people give us a lot of advice on what we should do and how we should really work on our communication skills. In this video, however, I want to share with you a few things that you should avoid to make your communication stronger. Now, please note that animal communication is a personal practice. So, what works for me may not work for you and vice versa. The few things that I'm going to share with you are things that have really helped me in my communication journey. I feel like as I started avoiding these things, my communication just got better and it also came easier for me to talk to these animals. So, without any further ado, let's get to these points. Number one is I stopped trying to focus too hard on the communication. When I started communication, I would often sit down and try to focus on the animal, try to focus on what I'm receiving, and keep waiting to receive messages from these animals. Soon enough, I realized that this focus is causing me a big obstacle. The minute I stopped trying too hard and I stopped trying to focus and concentrate, I realized that I could now be more attentive to what the animal wants to share with me rather than constantly putting the focus upon myself to be calm and to have no other thoughts in my head. The communication started flowing easier, and despite the fact that it still feels like it's my imagination, I can be quite confident that it is coming from the animal and it is not my own projection. So, one thing that really helped me is avoiding focusing too much and just allowing the conversation to flow by accepting that it will feel like my own imagination. The next thing that really helped me is avoiding having strict routines for my communication. Oftentimes, we feel like communication is something that needs to be done in a set way. The minute I stopped doing that and I started looking at communication as a conversation I'm having with my family and friends, it came to me very naturally, just the way I naturally speak to my family and friends. Since I didn't put up many rules to it, many structures to it, I also started liking the whole idea of communication, and it didn't put me under a lot of pressure. I started with very basic conversations with my own animals, with my community animals, before I extended this practice to other people. But this practice of just casually speaking to animals without putting hard and fast rules really helped me a lot to get eased into my communication practice. Another thing that I completely avoided is forcing myself to communicate. Oftentimes, you may not feel well, you may have a headache, or you may just have had a bad day. And despite this, we feel that we need to practice every single day, otherwise, we are going to lose touch with our communication. Whenever I've forced myself into a conversation, I've not been able to communicate well. Not just that, I've often had animals tell me, "Hey, I don't think your energy is right today, so let's not talk today." So I learned that unless and until I feel aligned to what I want to do, it's better not to do it at that point of time. There are a few days where if I'm not feeling too well, I'll ground myself, I'll prepare myself for the communication, and I may feel ready to do that communication. But on certain days, it just feels impossible and it feels like a huge task to sit down and communicate. And don't get me wrong, it's not just with my animals and plants and nature, it's also with humans around me. There are times I don't feel like talking to anyone, not even my family members. And it's okay. I give myself the time to cope through whatever I'm going. It could just be a boredom for all you know. And then when I feel aligned to it, I initiate those conversations. So these three things have really helped me get my communication on track. I make sure that I avoid these things at all times. And if you find this video helpful and if you feel that avoiding these things has helped you, please comment it in the comment section below so that we can all learn from each other's experiences. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and until the next video, bye bye.